Welcome back to Jesters of Ravenloft, where a group of comedians try to escape the horrors of the mists. The troupe continued to contend with the consequences of body switching. New Rogue healed Adam's accidentally self-inflicted wounds. Adam couldn't fight the influence of Shadow Nemesis and became a bit more evil, and the party tried to get Adam back into the doll body, but he unintentionally resisted the needle and remained a goat. Dell and Tyler realized that Lucretia might make a deal with them, and so Tyler agreed to give the demon a child in exchange for putting everyone back in their rightful bodies. The troupe have a battle ahead of them, but will the reunion of Adam and Shadow Master sow discord once again? I hope so.
Hello, friends, and welcome to this week's recording of Jesters of Ravenloft. We are your usual band of misfits. We're here. I have a tea. Everybody's present. It's a good Wednesday. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Happy Valentine's Day. Chat.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy. Find that love.
Yeah, and you found it already. Tonight here with us. We all love each other. We love you. And who knows how many of us will die. It's an average day, folks, in Ravenloft. In season 1, 3 comedians and their stage manager, known colloquially as the sketch comedy troupe Wet Change, were sucked into Ravenloft, the horror realm of Dungeons & Dragons. During their time in Ravenloft, they discovered they'd been summoned there by Ezra, accidentally. Ezra, god of the mist, summoned them to try to help Ezra escape the mists and get themselves back home. To defeat the Dark Lord of the First Realm, which was the first quest put before them, they collected magical items, they gained gifts and curses in very Ravenloft style, and they all trained in traditional D&D classes. Del Borovic, playing herself because they all were. I ambushed them. They didn't know that was happening, but that's the show. She is now able to talk to ghosts. She's got magical powers, and she claimed the Reality Blade, which lets her carve her magic into the air around her. She is a visual bard. So between her ghost powers and her magical weapon, she is able to summon images and contribute to the gang around her, as well as fighting enemies. Then there's Tyler Hewitt. He's big and green and actually pretty nice, honestly. We don't really have the mean part of that for Tyler, but he's big and green. He's got horns now. He's got flowing black hair and his beard. He has magical abilities to remove his pinky. He can do magic stuff with that. He could speak with Ezra. And he trained as a, what's the term for it again, Tyler? Blade singer?
Blade singer? Yeah.
A blade singer. It's a wizard who does fighties real good. So instead of a glass cannon, he's a glass hammer, just diving in there and kicking ass. He was trained by an insane weirdo, but he's got the magical powers now. Then Guy Bradford started the series and tragically died before being brought back to life. He now has ghostly hands and feet. From his elbows to his hands and from his knees to his feet. They are spectral limbs that kill anything they touch, except a goat he now has that he loves very much. His name, Jack Magnum. He lost all memories of his life. He's slowly been trying to put those back together. And because of that, he ended up training as a cleric, dedicating himself to the god Ezra, who is super kind and super wonderful. And he's made a lot of assumptions about Ezra, and his prayers are a little bit sexual. But he is doing his best to look after his friends. And last but not least is Adam, who is possessed by a symbiote. He's got his own Venom-style symbiote that helps him out in times of crisis, and as well as creating times of crisis. He can feed that symbiote by either eating brains or wasting people's time, and he tends not to waste people's time. Over the past 2 seasons, he has greatly struggled in Ravenloft. He got himself RoboCop armor. He's been gifted a gun by the Watchers. He's got some amazing stuff, but he's had a real crisis of faith. In the first domain, he sunk into the darkest of evils, becoming Shadow and then Shadow Nemesis, where he was a murderer who manipulated people into thinking they were his family, turned the whole place against his friends. In the end, he triumphed over the Dark Lord, and then discovered that when you become a Dark Lord magically with Ezra's help, each domain is a nightmare-fueled trap that preys on the weaknesses and insecurities of whoever is the Dark Lord, which became Shadow Nemesis, so everything went bad for him and he was ready to move on instead of reigning as a conqueror. This party has traveled to a second realm. Along the way, they have brought 2 people who are very close to them, specifically Dr. Deputy, a tiny evil squire of the Black Knight whose Shadow Nemesis started raising as his own. He lost his body in a doll-related body switcheroo accident, so he is now inside a doll. They also brought along Rumple Foreskin, a name chosen by chat that none of us thought we'd be talking about this meaningfully or warmly this many months later. But Rumple Foreskin is a bone horse that breathes fire that was originally ridden by the evil Black Knight who was slain by Adam and the gang. but revealed that they had their own personality and their own dreams, and they are on a quest to find the other bone horses of Boleyn somewhere in Ravenloft. So those two supernatural friends have joined our party as they moved into this new domain. Along the way, they had a body switcheroo fight with dolls. They met an evil demon named Acer Sanguine, who summoned doppelgangers of all of them and spread them throughout this realm to make sure that the name Wet Change would be cursed everywhere and they would have no warm welcomes. Then they met Denton Arthur, an old man who lives inside Protection Town, a town that has no other citizens, sadly, just this elderly artificer who created an army of robots to try to save those he loved before they were lost. He sent our heroes out. They gave a robot body. There were some hijinks. They made their way. They had a nice Thanksgiving, and they made their way to the first of the 4 places they were to go to try to find the doppelgangers, because they don't know where they all were. Along the way, there was a great deal of internecine conflict. They turned on each other. They betrayed each other. They stole each other's bodies. They fought each other. They made each other poop their pants. A lot of things happened along the way that were pretty tense until they ended up in the Barren Hills, where they were to try to find, as they discovered, the werefolk who had lost the rootless evergreen, a tree that floats off the ground that this entire society had lived upon, fishing for groundworms. But they were here, they were starving, and things were bad. Then Shadow Nemesis received a bracelet that forced him to tell the truth, creating an incredibly strange arc that's still ongoing, where he hid inside his own mind where he'd secretly kept Adam trapped, and Adam is now in charge. They've battled for control. A lot of things have happened. The Dr. Deputy stole a body, but the party has, at this point, won over the werefolk. Adam is currently in charge of his body, but hoping to work with his symbiote to be able to separate himself from his evil personality as they have started to blend. The party is heading towards the werefolk camp on the Barren Hills that has been hastily set up because they have learned that Acer Sanguine is bringing an army. The evil army and the doppelgangers from everywhere else are coming here, so these heroes need to battle their way onto the rootless evergreen and get the werefolk camp up and onto it because an army is coming. Also, along the way, there was a succubus who has successfully made deals with 3 of the party, only not Dell. Dell is the only one who's turned it down. This succubus has traded children for power from all of the others, so she has, theoretically at this point, had 3 demon children. One is Adam's, one is Tyler's, and one is Guy's. Or who knows? Maybe there's twins or more. None of us know enough about how demons procreate.
God damn it.
But Dell hasn't made a deal yet, and they, having finally gotten themselves back into their bodies, with New Rogue having received a cloak that pours mist off of it, and a wisdom stone that is circling his head alongside his magical, touchable goat Jack Magnum. He's looking like a chosen one, so it's time for them to approach this camp now that they've been welcomed. And that's where we left things off. It is time, my friends.
No.
It's time for us to return to Ravenloft.
This hurts.
Your carriage rolls down the hill until it comes to a stop in front of Marith Glimplimmer, because you would have wanted to stop, and Rumpleforeskin is not running down a friendly werewolf.
Thank you.
What do you do?
I say, I'm up in the driver's seat, I believe, with
correct.
Dr. Deputy
Next
sitting
to you
beside me.
is Dr. Deputy dressed like Forrest Gump with a burlap sack over his head and 2 holes he can see out of.
A little doll body, yeah.
Correct. Yeah, I think the sack also has goat ears.
Right. I'll say, hi there, Marith. I saw the tube there. Do you know what's up with what's coming your way?
Yes, there's a great deal happening right now. Are you all here?
We are all here. We're in varying degrees of fighting form, but we're all here. We're ready to help.
Woo! Let's do this! Yeah.
Yeah, that's New Rogue. He's the champion. So
yeah,
he's
ready now or never.
Yeah,
that's great. Are you guys getting out of the carriage? Are you staying in it? What are you doing?
Staying in until we have to get out.
Yeah, I'm staying in. Yeah.
Woo! Carriage party.
Woo!
All right. Do you guys want to? Okay, come into town. Come into what I guess we'll call this town, for the lack of a better name for any of it. And she turns around and walks to the center of the camp. Tyler, I'm going to have you roll for our dear friend Rumpleforeskin. Can you roll me a dexterity check? I'll call it an acrobatics to move this.
All right. Acrobatics, are we using my stats or Rumple?
Nope, just let me know the roll.
Stats?
I know Rumple's stats.
So it's a roll of 17.
Rumple is crushing this. Whether it's the new robotic leg, you're not entirely sure, but there is not a lot of space between these tents and various structures that they've built on this hilltop. But Rumple weaves in between until the carriage is in the middle of this maze of randomly placed tents and stone structures.
Oh, I didn't think we were going through tents. Oh, I would have got out.
Yeah.
It's not the actual village. It is up in the floating tree. That's where they live.
Well, this is where they're staying, though. Like, we almost plowed through their houses.
Yeah, this is the Sarah McLachlan village part of the.
Yeah. So luckily, everyone's looking very well fed. You can see people having a breakfast of Tyler. You would recognize this giant body of Gluggle-Glorp, the Lord of Slugs, the gigantic groundworm that you had defeated and slaughtered. Marith points to the body and says, "Do any of you need to eat anything? We've got more of Gluggle-Glorp available for you." Or anyone inside, she yells because she can't see into the carriage from directly in front of it.
Oh, yeah, don't worry. On this side, it's completely busted open, so they heard that.
Hi.
That's nice. Oh, hello.
Do you guys want to eat a worm? Yeah, come out. We're here. Come out.
Yeah.
What am I smelling?
can
Does it smell good, or?
Who's coming out first?
Well, I heard food, so I'm coming out first.
All right, Adam, can you roll me a dex save?
Right.
You will have advantage from danger sense.
Ooh, okay, good. Ooh, dexterity, that's a 10.
It's a 10. You make it out no problem. Yes. Del and Guy, can you both roll me dex saves?
Sure. It's a 15 for me.
Del walks out no problem.
Oh,
That's a 7.
Guy, you slip in goat shit and fall and get goat shit on your butt because when Adam was a goat, he pooped in the corner of the carriage near the exit.
Yeah, his tiny nuggets.
Yeah, so those nuggets are starving.
Hey guys. Okay, I'm out.
okay?
I'm fine. I'm ready. Let's do this. Fine. Okay. Hi.
All right, so there's the worm. You could just take pieces off. It tastes pretty good. You're looking at a 35-foot ground worm. It looks similar to the worms you would see in Dune with the same striping patterns as the ones in Beetlejuice. It has been torn open. There are exposed bones, exposed pieces of meat. It does look rather similar to sushi in terms of texture.
Oh.
Is it like cooked? Or no? Is it raw?
No, it is not cooked. It is just raw.
do we just get in there, Marith? Is there like a wrong way to eat this, or were we just?
Oh no, you can have as much as you want wherever you want to go. They're innards. We haven't figured out even where they are. You can just eat everything on these things other than the bones. That's why we use them to make the fishing rods, the little tinklers that draw them in.
Maritha, I won't be offending anybody if I don't consume it, will I?
Oh no, this is fine. If you don't want to eat, you don't need to. I just didn't want to.
No, it'd be more. I don't need to
without
consume anything. It's just more for the rest of the villagers. But actually, we should give a piece to Jack Magnum. That's a good idea, right?
Do goats eat meat?
Eat worm.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Hey, Jack Magnum, here. You have my portion then. Okay, here you go. And I lift it up, and I'm like, okay, and shoot it.
Can you roll me an animal handling?
You free throw a scrap of meat to him?
Yeah, it's fun. He'll jump for it. That's a 14.
It's a 14. Jack Magnum opens his mouth and just eats the piece of worm that you threw. Chows down, it's gone.
I feel that one, homeboy. Okay, good job. All right. So, Maritha, roughly.
It's just Marith.
I'm sorry, Marith.
It's all right. Names are not key right now. So you're the chosen one, right? You're the wise cleric who's come from the distance to save the people.
And I still have the rock floating around my head, right?
Yes, you do. And mist is pouring off of your cape. You do look very heroic, though you smell faintly of goat shit.
Yep. I'm the wise one and here to do a hero's quest.
All right, why don't you come over here? And Marith leads you into a small tent off to the side. Del and the other you two, if you want anything from the worm, just bring it with you, and we'll roll through this pretty quickly.
I'm good.
okay.
I'll join you right now.
I'm taking a tiny piece. I'm too curious to not eat it.
Yeah. Are there like plates, or am I just like manhandling this?
Just manhandling it.
I'm just gonna cut off a little piece with the reality blade, just a little slice of it.
All right. I use my like little RoboCop data spike, and I
rapier?
kind of yeah, and I like da 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 da, and I don't know why I make that
You
sound.
do like a shish kebab on it?
Ooh, yeah. You
go.
say that, and I'm like, ooh, yeah, shish kebab, and
Do a
so
little skewer, yeah.
I cut like 8 pieces, and I like boop boop boop, kind of put them on there.
Great. And you head into the room. You find yourself inside a small makeshift tent. It's small compared to the other tents that you've stayed in. It's one of the larger ones inside this camp. And Marith turns to all of you and says, I don't mean to be insensitive, but y'all look like bags of hammered shite. It's terrible. Are you okay? You look awful.
We didn't get any sort of like respite this last little while, and it's kind of been just one challenge after another. So yeah, we feel like shite.
All right. So
Yeah.
honestly, I've been in touch with Denton Arthur. I know what's going down elsewhere, and we've got some time. I would rather we take some more time for me to pull my people together and sort out a plan, and you guys sleep, and then we'll coordinate after that when I can bring you out and you look like a chosen one instead of a poopy, sleepless band of weirdos.
Yeah.
Sleep sounds great.
I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, I have some ideas that I can maybe float by, but yeah, then we can go to sleep if you want.
Are there any ideas that I would need to know right now? Because I can start putting things into organization and putting them into play.
Oh yeah, like if you're talking to Denton, remember how he had that robot come, and remember how his robot blew up? So why don't we just get he's got like a whole bunch, I'm assuming. So why doesn't he just get his robots, get some bombs, fly them over where the enemies are coming, and drop the bombs on them?
What bombs are you talking about?
Oh, well, he would if he can make a robot blow up, I'm assuming he can make a bomb that can blow up. So we message him, be like, make some bombs, and then just drop them. Because Rumple Foreskin, his leg broke, and he made a new leg pretty quick. So I'm just assuming he can make a bomb just as quick as the leg.
I'm sorry, are you saying bum? Or
B-O-M-B, bomb.
Bomb, boom.
Yeah, like a bomb.
An explosive. Okay, that makes more sense, I guess.
Bombs on them. I'm not saying that. You're dropping
Not an
bombs on them.
explosive bum that shoots diarrhea out. It's canny.
What?
We need to sleep. We need to sleep. We really
Okay,
we need sleep.
How many robots does he have? 100? 100 bombs.
I'll talk with y'all after. You
Thank
guys
you.
get some sleep.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
And she leaves the tent and closes the flap.
She didn't like my bomb idea. That's weird.
And I called her Maritha. Doy.
Yeah.
All right, her name's Marith now, so you're fine. And maybe the bomb thing is she'll follow up on it. We'll find out after we sleep.
That's a good idea.
Oh yeah, you must be really tired too, little guy. Do you wanna sleep while I meditate? On my lap while I meditate? You want to be that close to me? Oh, that's very nice of you. I care about you a lot too. And okay, I can't not guarantee that I won't nuzzle you while I'm kind of in my meditation Zen state, but it may happen. You're free to nuzzle me too.
If there is a bed, I am getting into one and and drawing the covers up.
There are no covers, but you can see that there are pillows and simple, almost sheet-like bedrolls that have been laid out. This isn't anything professionally for traveling. It's clearly what people had on them or near them as they dashed out of the tree. But there is enough stuff here for you to be able to sleep.
Perfect.
Rumple Foreskin?
Oh, hey. They poked
Hey,
their head
hey.
in.
Two things. One, great job on pulling the carriage around, especially with that all broken. Your new leg is doing great.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
And two, do you want to cuddle sleep because you're really nice and warm?
oh, hell yeah, let's do this. And
Okay.
Rumpleforeskin crouches down and is able to move more easily while crouched the whole way down. Previously, it just hadn't really worked for them, and now they've got a little bit of that bent leg bomb dog robot movement that lets them move forward with the back leg able to go a little further. So they make their way over in the tent and curl up and end up beside you. So they form a little circle around you that you can rest on.
Perfect. So good. So sleep. Yes.
So Dell is sleeping on Rumpleforeskin. Tyler's sleeping on the ground. New Rogue, it sounds like you are... What position do you go for your trance in? Are you kneeling or what is it?
Yeah, I kneel, but before I kneel, I'm going to basically do a little prayer before I do that.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's hear the prayer. Or is it just internal? Is it just for you, or do you say it aloud?
No, I do it out loud. I still don't have a really good inside voice. So, but I'm keeping it quiet, and I'm just to myself, away from everybody. So I'm like, Ezra, I know stuff's weird between us, and it's a new dynamic, but I don't know. This is all just one test. I feel like one big test to make me realize my place in this world. But I want to thank you for providing me with the angels of the mists who provided me with Jack Magnum and these friends. And I'm just going to keep on being as strong as I can. So I just want you to provide as much protection as you can to all the innocent people in this village and my group. I love them all, and I love you. Baby, I still love you. Baby, fuck, I love you so goddamn fucking much.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Okay, anyways, thank you so much. Kisses.
Perfect. You make that prayer and then fall into a trance with Jack Magnum on your lap. But Adam, you find yourself, are you laying down to sleep? Like, what's your plan?
Is there a place I can because I know Dr. Deputy stole the needle, I'm a little wary. So I kind of want to find if I'm in a tent, can I Spider-Man hang on one of the beams or something without bringing the thing down? Just so it's hard for him to get to me.
Yeah, sure.
Get in the bag.
You are setting yourself up where you would be carried around if tied to a single stick, but that's just where you're sleeping, attached to the roof.
Right.
The central log of this roof you are now wrapped around. So if the camera was flipped upside down, you would look like you were sleeping normally, but then the pan out and it turns out you're sleeping on the roof.
It turns out, yeah.
And you have this brief moment as you fall asleep, Adam, where the world just goes dark. Meanwhile, inside your mind, in the Whitby mental hospital that has been abandoned, the door opens to a cell covered in newspaper articles of Shadow Nemesis's and his various adventures and crimes. And Shadow Nemesis is sitting in Hannibal Lecter style outfit. He's got a face mask on that covers his teeth, and he's in the full prison uniform. What number is on his uniform, or what word is labeled for him?
Geez. Well, how about the word is damn dangerous?
Instead of a name, instead of a number, it just says damn dangerous.
Yeah.
Stitched into the front of his prison jumpsuit. And Shadow Master enters in his nurse uniform. And just says, okay, it's time for me to kind of give you a report. So, Adam's back. He's in the body, which is good, because we don't have that doll who wanted to cut your hand off anymore. But Adam has decided that he wants to try to separate the two of you. You know how you've got a little more of him in you, and he's got a little more of you in him?
Wait, am I Shadow Master or Shadow Nemesis?
Shadow Nemesis inside the cell.
Oh, can I talk because I got that mask on, or am I just like...
It's just covering you like Hannibal Lecter, so you can't bite.
Oh, but I can talk, though.
Yeah, that doesn't keep Hannibal Lecter from talking.
Oh, right. And I suppose I must be bound by the truth bracelet, right?
Yes, you can't lie in this room, but it's Shadow Master, so you can't really lie to Shadow Master anyways.
Oh, right. Right. Yes, I've been following along with these newspaper clippings that you have very graciously provided me. Yes. Might I recommend that when you split us, you put me back in charge?
I mean, I'll try to do that, but like the thing I wanted to make clear was there is a risk of the two of you becoming one consciousness again.
Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean,
I mean,
one consciousness?
Okay, well, you know how there's like us, and then there's Adam.
Don't remind me. I know what you mean.
Yeah, but imagine there was just us and a slightly bigger us.
Wait, you would be, so it would be like, let's say it was the show Three's Company. How many people are there? Is there just one company or is it two people?
Okay, if we want to get technical, I have my own consciousness, so
Okay.
I don't like saying this, but I have to say the truth. I technically am a second consciousness in your head that is not literally a part of your consciousness.
Right.
So if you merge, there would be two of us in here.
So it would be you, i.e. Don Knotts, and then it would be me, who is the one Three's Company.
Yes, imagine the other two company were combined in a very David Cronenberg-esque monster way.
Ooh, okay. But, oh, wait, that's not good. Hold on. Oh, well, is there a
I don't know,
way?
you seemed excited about it a second ago.
well,
What
you said-
changed your mind because you can't lie?
Well, because you said David Cronenberg, I got excited because I like his stuff. But then I remembered Fly when like he got combined at the end, and then the movie just kind of ends after he gets shot, right? Which like you'd think
Yeah,
that
it's
wouldn't do anything, but and then the
tremendously
Fly 2
anticlimactic.
happens. Did you see that one? God, I was disappointed.
I mean, if you saw it, I've seen it.
Yeah, I know. Weird.
My opinions are very similar to yours.
Kid's like, what? He's like a month old, and he's like a 30-year-old man. How's that work? Flies don't.
I don't
do that.
know. I literally don't know.
I don't know either.
So, do you want me to try to stop him from doing the like mind meld? Maybe you become the Fly, or do you want to try it?
Oh no,
If
no.
you don't want this to happen, then I got to put you back in the spotlight.
So you could try to make me, but there's a chance that I could become the Fly. Like Three's Company, the Fly.
It's weird that I'm confused while I'm also plugged into your head, but I'm just gonna say yes.
Well, I'm a gambling man. Let's I think I
no.
trust you.
I
trust
know
you.
the two pie slices you share now. It's
yes.
the gambling part.
Oh, I counted 3, and I should point to this pie chart that I have on like my wall that I was like coloring in. Anyway, because it's 9 slices, right? That's
No, yours is
28%.
11.
11 slices.
Shadow Master!
Gotta
It's not
start
my
over.
fault. You guys kept touching each other.
Do you know how hard it is to find paper in this place and a pen?
Here you go.
It's like, oh, hey, oh, thanks. I was going to
Yeah,
reference
it's
a
a
Three's Company
psychological realm.
episode.
I can make anything.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, okay. Well, separate me, make me, make Adam, lock him in here, and then put me back in charge, and then we'll be fine.
All right, let's either do what you want or have something happen that you'll absolutely hate.
And you find yourself pulled into a new mental dimension that we will create after this commercial break.
Oh man.
Yay!
Adam, inside your mind, Shadow Master, using your references in the world, has created 2 cells next to each other, one of which contains Adam and one of which contains Shadow Master. What do they look like, and what does the room look like that they are in?
I immediately regret this choice. Just the way that you describe that, like, oh man, this is totally like the Fly. So each cell
So
is like
is it so like the Fly?
yeah. Let's just keep it simple. It's like the Fly, I guess. Yeah, it's the Fly. And
So
there's like
we're
a
in a
third pod.
Yeah, we are in a grimy sci-fi room with you in one pod that is much more constricting than I had first pictured, next to Shadow Nemesis. Your pods are facing each other, and through grated slats, you are staring into each other's eyes. You can see steam going around. You can see other canisters and other scientific equipment in the very small gap you could see around the edge of the room. And then Shadow Master, a black goo creature, is wearing a full science lab coat with a laminated name tag on that says Dr. Shadow Master, and it's a photo of him in exactly the same uniform. And he steps up to a podium filled with controls.
He says, "Okay, I will try to separate both of you. Is there anything you'd like to say to each other before you possibly never meet again or become the same person?" I would try to be more reassuring, but I'm not allowed to lie.
I don't like this at all. Don't fear the Reaper, baby. Says Shadow Master. Or Nemesis.
Well, that was weird. All right, let's do it.
And he presses a button. And Adam, normally I would have you roll a series of checks to see how this turns out. But the pods activate and mist swirls up from within them. Can you roll me a d6?
Like Cronenberg mist. Oh, boy. Okay. All right. It's like I don't. My initial reaction was just to be like, no. Roll the 6. No. Okay. All right. So then, as the lights flash and Three's Company starts playing, like, "Oh, don't knock on my door," and the third pod is like rainbow color flashing, and then a 5 is rolled.
In this third pod, it's rainbow flashing, and you, Adam, and you, Shadow Nemesis, because for this brief moment, you are both at the same time, but also separate. You see flashes of Shadow Nemesis, and then you see flashes of Adam in this central machine, almost being torn out of reality. You feel parts of your body leaving and blasting back in this massive tumult of energy until you both settle. And Shadow Nemesis, you look down and you almost like feel yourself to make sure you're not the fly. And you realize you have no memories of soft Adam anymore. It's all gone. All you remember is the joy of evil, the blackness in your heart, the power at your fingertips. And Adam, you remember the concept abstractly of the dark memories you had seen. You're aware that Shadow Nemesis is an evil personality. You're aware Shadow Nemesis exists, but no longer are Shadow Nemesis's crimes yours. You don't feel that sense of ownership. The memories themselves are gone. It's almost as if it was a story that was told to you instead of one you committed yourself. The two of you have been flawlessly separated.
Phew.
And Shadow Master, standing at the podium, says,
Well, that went better than I thought it would go. I really felt like it was going to be a bit of a 50-50, but it seems like we got the good one. So, Shadow Nemesis, do you want to go back in the spotlight, or are you going back in the box?
Fuck yeah, I do. And I sucker punch myself.
and you punched through the entire pod you were in and into the other pod and punch Adam. Adam, what do you say as you were thrown back into the Whitby abandoned mental hospital?
Hey, do I get a swing? And I fly into this.
And Shadow Nemesis, you retake control of your body. You look down and see adamantine armor. And then the ground, because you're in the sky. You know the weapons you have. You remember the things that happened enough that you have full context about what Adam had done and said during that time. The truth bracelet is still on your hand, but deep down in the back of your mind, there is no resistance this time. You're fully in control because inside a cell, an isolation cell in an abandoned Whitby mental hospital, a certain nurse is shoveling a bucket full of pills into a struggling Adam's mouth until he settles down enough to close the door. Ooh. What do you do?
Well, I'm hanging upside down. So
you are still exhausted in any way that you were before. That's still happening. So you can just sleep, but I wanted to give you the option. You got your body back now.
Yeah. I'm not by myself. Like everyone else is kind of in the room.
Correct.
Are they all asleep?
You look down and see the doctor deputy falling asleep on Tyler's chest.
Okay. All right. I clock everything. And then there's just like just the slightest little like flash in my eyes. Like, do you remember? You know what popped into my head? Do you remember in Goosebumps? Remember that intro, like the like classic
The golden retriever.
Goosebumps, and the golden retriever is like his eyes like flash, like it has like snake eyes for some weird reason.
Yeah.
So yeah, in my
No, I'm not
yeah.
familiar with it. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what you're
People
talking
cold?
about.
Or what are we talking about Goosebumps for? Yeah, so then like in my head it's like and my eyes flash a bit, and I go excellent to myself. I go, time to go to bed, and I go to bed.
You fall asleep in the evilest way possible.
Yum yum yum.
For the sake of sanity, you all sleep for the same amount of time. I'm aware, new rogue, your trances could theoretically be less, but with the amount you're praying and how determined you are that Ezra baby knows what's going on, you all sleep for the full 8 hours. So you're at full health. You no longer have exhaustion. You receive back all of your spell slots.
Do I get extra health? Am I
No, but
supercharged?
you do get an access to a memory because you were in a trance trying to summon that.
Oh, okay. The memory I have is.
This. You roll your d6 to determine it.
Oh, right. God damn it, rules. Give me a second. Where's my? There it is. That's a 3.
A 3. You recall a childhood memory of guys. To you, this is a religious vision because you don't have the context for these. So these are messages and glimpses that Ezra is giving you. So what about that event or who you were is influencing you or maybe should influence you? And what's the memory?
Okay. The memory is probably my first memory that I can recall. That is my staring into a mirror and looking in my eyes and realizing the pupils and the irises, just the depth and the color, the texture. It's that I wasn't a cartoon character, that I was like this complex creature and not just a creation on a television. What's the other part of this vision that I'm pulling from this? It's a spiritual thing.
How is it influencing you? Like, what is this vision telling you need to do, or how is it going to affect you, or what is it reminding you of?
I think it's basically it's telling me to grow up. It's giving me a little bit more insight into basically everything. It's kind of like an evolution. I poke evolved somewhat from Bulbasaur into what's the second one? Venusaur or is
Charmander?
Charmander, that's the one.
It's Meow.
Yeah. So I mean, an improvement.
Excellent. So that's what you take away from the vision you have been given as you wake up. And the rest of you all wake up simultaneously. Sometimes there are convenient things that happen in the magical world of Ravenloft, and one is all of you getting up at the same time. The Doctor Deputy stretches and jumps off your chest, Tyler, and goes, "All right, evil boss, what are we going to do today? When do we kill?"
Soon, I think. We're probably going to get an update from Marith, and that'll be pretty well the last bit of it, I think.
And that's when you hear a polite stamping outside the door to the tent, the flap.
I'll look around.
Can I come in? I hear talking. I assume you're conscious.
Yeah, is everybody cool if someone comes in?
Yeah, sure.
I'm
Yeah.
decent.
Mhm.
I'm fine.
Oh, yeah, that's fine by me. I don't care. And Marith pushes the flap aside and steps in and says, "All right, I can give you an update on the tactical situation if that's of interest." So,
Yeah.
unless anyone objects, hello, ceiling man. I don't know if you could. Can you see from up there? Are you fine?
Oh yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, no. This is just how I sleep. Yeah. Go ahead. Sure.
All right. So, here is an interesting question that I have to ask. Shadow Nemesis, are you trying to sound like Adam?
Yes, I was going to say that, like, I don't want to reveal my identity right away, so I am trying to be Adam.
Can you roll me an insight?
I got
Just fails like, yes, hello, it's me. Insight 0. All right, let's see. This is that's a solid 6.
6, you are not smart enough to realize that this technically is a subtle version of a lie, so it gets around the curse because it's just changing your voice. You haven't had to actively say you're Adam. So because the biological makeup is exactly the same, if you were consciously trying to be like, I'm fooling them, if you'd said anything like Adam-ish, the lie would become real. But this level of just putting on a silly voice isn't banned by the curse.
Yes.
So
all right.
You're allowed to do that.
Just let me know when I break the curse and I'll just switch back.
I will tell you the moment it happens. Marith takes out a map of the whole realm, the same map that you have received previously. And she says, all right, so to walk you through what's happening, because it's been a bit of a disaster. So your doppelgangers have risen up. And how long do you think you've been traveling for to get here? How many days do you think it's been since you left Protection Town?
2?
Like 2 or 3. Yeah.
Okay, so unfortunately, in Ravenloft, time can be a bit subjective. You know how there are those days that feel like they're going on forever? Sometimes you may be like, oh, this feels like it's been hours and hours or days and days or weeks and weeks, but it's technically only been a day.
That's like most of our days. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so depending on the realm and the circumstances, sometimes that just means time dilation is occurring elsewhere. So you may have only had 2 or 3 days to get here, but those days where it felt like you were doing a lot and a lot was going on, it turns out that those have felt like the actual number of days and weeks to other places in the realm. So I got kind of a series of bummer reveals for all of you, which apologies. So in the Desert March, where the gnolls were living, admittedly unpleasant, but they fight evil. You didn't make it to save them because, other things happened. So they all, they didn't starve, which is nice because they didn't have water. So instead they all desiccated and died. So Barney the Ancient is dead. And then all the gnolls are dead. And the army being led by Shadowface and Poop Eater is marching here. Though I'm sure it's being slowed down, burning down Hero Hall. So there's always that. In the Ashlands, we lost Dradragon, who is the hero of that realm. So all of the fire lizards have been rising up under Pope Watefan and his various minions. So they have just finished massacring Crazy Jacques' Crazy Circus. So Jacques Hughes and Jill Hughes and their unlikely business partner Jack Hughes have all been massacred. So that army's coming that way.
There's no circus?
No, it's just ash now. They're sort of spreading the ashlands. And then, Volcano Village, the one on Death Mountain, well, Jack Sublime, their leader, was massacred, basically. Internally, they had a whole fight with snake people that had been going on for some time. And it appears that there was an evil hag and a fire-breathing horse that led the snake people to victory, killing Jack and massacring most of those villagers. And they're also coming here through the Nameless Graveyard. And then there's Acer Sanguine seems to be summoning various creatures through fiery rents in the ground around the Impossible Lake, and also marching here. Protection Town is okay, so there's that. But I spoke with Denton Arthur, and there aren't separate explosives. It was the robot exploding. And with how much attention you've garnered, Denton Arthur is of the belief that if he sends all the robots to blow themselves up in assistance, they're going to be dead, and then his town will be wiped out. And then there's no heroes and no safety for anyone. So I don't have robot help. So in short, we have about 10 hours, 12 hours before the combination of 4 evil forces that all conquered while you were here or on your way here arrive. I've got a whole army, and by army I mean anyone who can fight, outside, all the wares. To the best of our ability, I think all we can do is just throw ourselves at the rootless evergreen and hope we can get you in to defeat Streamlabbing Tyler. The only thing that we're missing, because all of your reactions make it sound, I don't know, as bad as it is.
Yeah.
But we're heroes, and we're here to turn this around. And we know who the chosen one of this realm is, which is why every one of our warriors is outside, gathered to hear the speech that I know you're going to give them, New Rogue. I know that you as a chosen one can make them all feel powerful and enabled and like they can do this because you're the only thing that can turn the tide. It's time for you to step out now and give the speech of your life. I'll take a quick commercial break right there.
Yay.
God.
Marith steps back and lifts the flap to the tent for you to step out, New Rogue. What do you do?
I take a deep breath.
You got this, buddy.
Don't fuck it up.
Oh my God.
I turn to my friends.
Got this, Rogue.
Yeah.
Thank you. And I pick up Jack Magnum and I bring him to my nose and I just like nuzzle his nose, I guess, my nose. Just. Okay. Thanks. I really needed to hear that. And then I hand him to Dell.
I'll take Jack Magnum and I'll say, New Rogue, may the ghosts of the mists be with you, and cast guiding whispers on him so he has guidance now.
Ooh.
I hold Jack Magnum.
Smart.
Thank you. All right. It's time. And I nod to them. And I turn and then I walk out.
And you step outside the tent and you see 100 were creatures standing before you. They are all in full combat regalia. It's cobbled together. Some of it's street clothes, but we're talking werewolves, werebears, wereboars, weretigers, wererats. These are all hybrid human-animal forms. And it's odd because they all seem nervous. These are the monsters that would be horrifying to anyone, but you actually don't have this same frame of reference as other people would. You just see these beings that are struggling. And as you step out and the mist swirls off your cape and the mist swirls off of the stone circling your head, the mists swirl up around your ankles and give you a pop culture reference that will help you give this great speech to these very scared people. What is it? And how does your speech start?
It is the trailer for We Are the Titans with Denzel. I never saw the film.
Just the trailer.
Only saw the trailer. So that's what I'm going off. Friends, countrymen, we got to get our shit together. We're all strong, stronger than we know. I know sometimes it feels like the chips are down, but today we ante up. All of you are stronger than you have any idea of. You are were creatures. Where are you? Here. Where are you going? There. Who are you going to destroy? Them. When are you going to do it? Now.
Can you roll me a persuasion?
Oh, no.
And add a D4 to your roll.
That's a, let's see, what is it? That's a 25.
Whoa.
Because I already got my extra stuff on.
You can see these were creatures starting to get pumped up. You can see they're starting to buy in, but it's a big threat of this army coming, and that's when the mists swirl up around your ankles again and give you another pop culture reference to help you keep this speech going.
this is Beast Wars. Because they're all like transforming creatures.
Oh yeah.
No, that's not the one. I'm really channeling my Megatron. You go out there. All of you. You have more power in your pinky than these pipsqueaks have in their entire being. You must maximize to your highest potential. And you must terrorize those enemies. Make them see death. Show them no mercy, for they will show you none. If we
And
go
you see
down...
these were creatures. They're punching each other on the shoulder. They're hyping up. With a 25, you don't have to roll this roll. But the mists swirl up around your ankles again,
man.
give you another pop culture reference for you to continue this speech.
It's the documentary Beyond the Mat, the World Wrestling Federation documentary from 1999. It's Vince McMahon. I've just become more and more of a villain as I'm telling this, but I'm like also amped up. You are gonna go out there. You're gonna make him puke. You're gonna make them puke. That's right, because that's what they are. They're puke. And if we die today, they will remember us because we are Titans. Remember the Titans. Remember the Titans.
And the mists swirl up around your ankles one more time, giving you another pop culture reference that you can close this speech out with.
God.
Everybody put your hands in. 1, 2, 3, go Bayside! Yeah!
Honestly, it's a 25, and that was really impressive. So every were creature puts a hand in and just yells, "Go Bayside!" Yes! Everybody's going ape shit. Merritt's like, I didn't know he had it in him, she says to the rest of you inside the tent. She says, all right.
Knocked it out of the park.
Wow. That was
time for us to
really
move.
impressive.
We gotta move for the rootless evergreen. Let's go, let's go. Yeah, I see all of you. All right, yeah, keep it moving, Tie Guy Del Dam. And you, schliffin'. Don't drop your weapons. You gotta keep that sharp. Chattington, you take the lead. That's important. And Chipmunk, you pull up the rear. We need a rear guard. At least 3, you have to follow Chipmunk. Pepperoni Tony, you're the one with the drum. You gotta bang out the beat for us. That's what we need. And Foyer Sucre Sandwich. We're gonna need a snack on the way, so pack up some of Gluggle Glorp so that we have that to go. And then Bob Gilsby, honestly, you're really pulling your own weight, and I'm proud of you, Bob. You just see a were-rat go, mm-hmm. And the werefolk are ready to be on the move. They start making their way into what looks like a random distance. Except, Tyler, you jump off the ground and see the rootless evergreen is that way. It's about 5 miles away. But they have already started moving. Clearly, you are intended to join them. Is there anything you say to each other before you follow this group or do something else?
Well, wow, guy, that was really impressive. I thought you were gonna, or New Rogue. Sorry, yeah, I thought you were gonna fuck it up for sure, but you did it, yeah.
Yeah.
Adam, no, it was great.
Well, what did I just say? Yeah, you did a good job.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
Adam, you can't just let him go calling you Adam, because that's clearly a lie of omission. It'll get you on those.
okay.
Adam.
So what did you say while you tried to lie? Because we've established when you try to lie, the truth just comes out.
What did he say to me again?
I just said, Adam.
Oh, fuck you, I'm Shadow Nemesis. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Wait, what?
Oh my god. Oh, yeah, I switched.
It's exactly this kind of shit that got 3 people, 3 civilizations killed.
Yeah, it's me.
All right,
Sorry.
All right, wait.
I was gonna hide it, but now it's like, end of Iron Man. I'm just gonna flat out say it. I'm Iron Man. I'm Shadow Nemesis.
Okay.
Wait, you're back?
Gonna go.
Oh, that's right, little man. I'm back. I'm back big time.
I had to swear an oath to Uncle Boring. I'm only allowed to fight who he says.
What? What'd you do that for?
Because I thought it would help bring you back, or you die in a goat or something.
Oh, God, when will you learn? Leave the planning to me.
Okay, then plan me a way out of this oath.
All right, well.
Everybody shut up. We have to go fight. Shadow Nemesis, you're gonna fight. Help us fight.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, of course I'm going to fight. Sure.
Okay, we'll talk about this later. Please just focus, and we'll go fight.
Sure.
Yeah,
Not
we
yet,
don't
like,
have
look.
time for dealing with these antics. The people
Thanks,
of
Rogue.
the Barren Hills deserve our help. Now let's get out there, team, and show them what we're made of.
Go Bayside. Let's do it.
Yeah. Oh man. All right. Yeah.
And you all go to remember the Titans, and because of Bayside, and you are determined not to puke, and you make your way towards a battle for the rootless evergreen, and maybe all of this domain. And that's the end of the episode.
Yay!
That's the end of this episode, listener, but next week you could become a watcher and affect the Jesters' adventures by joining our Twitch stream, which happens every Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's Toronto time. If you join our Twitch chat, you can give the cast magical items, name NPCs, and decide the events that shape Ravenloft. So, catch up on the story, follow Dum Dum Dice on Twitch, and join our weekly stream right away. Jesters of Ravenloft features the voices of players Tyler Hewitt, Borovic, Guy Bradford, and Adam McNamara, alongside Dungeon Master Ryan LaPlante. This episode was edited and mixed by Laura Hamstra, and Jesters of Ravenloft's artwork was created by Borovic at delborovic.com. That's DELBOROVIC. Our theme song is Dark Mysterious Halloween Night by Sound Gallery by Dmitry Taras, and our ad breaks use the tracks No Control and Chiefs by Jazzar, JAHZZAR, whose music is available at freemusicarchive.org. For all things Dum-Dums and Dice, including merchandise and how to join our Patreon, you can visit dumdumdice.com or find us on social media at dumdumdice. That's DUMBDUMBDICE. Now get out of here before the mist gets you too!
Dum-Dums and Dice has to give a special thank you to the supreme beings of our Patreon at this time: Christopher Little, George Dolby, Richard Cranium, Gavin and Abby McDonald, Logan, Fire Unfriendly, Grandma Likes D&D, Alan, Stabby Stranger, Glitch Trick, Flynn1138, Alarain Okapi, Schrodinger's Pepper, Guy Edwards, Madre de Gatos, Lady Maiden, Garbo Abe, Locke, Sam Schaefer, Waffle Marine, Dagger Rain, Rob L, Dia de los Hoodless, Squishy Werewolf, Remy Funky Head, Nomad, the Wise Paladin of the Badlands, Accent Therapeutic Services in Florence, Kentucky, Lael, Shulzari, The Long Family, Jordan Oliver, Richard Wright, Brittany Fenwick, Alex Parr, Old Man Mojo, Dragonfly, The Body Barrelers, Megan Werner, A Man Out of Time, Curtis at FingerTechRobotics.com, Panda24NN, Shendra D, Your Homeboy Bones, and Jill and Noel LaPlante. If you want your name to be added to this list, you can join our Patreon too at patreon.com/dumdumdice. Thanks to them, and a little bit of thanks to you.